Okay, we are up to, good morning, we're up to Tafresh Shalom Beis, Sif Beis. Aver, Bein B'Gdola, Bein B'Ktana, Shavim. So, Sif Aruch was discussing Schach Puzzle. That you need Dal Tfachi, like a Makom Choshev, or Dal Ramos. Now, what if you have a hefsek going across the Sukkah of Avir? Bein B'Gdola, Bein B'Ktana, Shavim. The Bein B'Emsa, Bein Minatzad, Shosha Tfachim Psula. You need to Avir. You need to it needs to be less than Gimel Tfachim, so you can say Lavud. The Pachas B'Shleisha Sheira U'Mitzdarf L'Hashlim L'Sukkah. If it's less than 3, then it's it'd be Mashlim L'Sukkah. Ve'ein Yeshenim Tachtav. However, if it's Gimel, we're not allowed to sleep underneath. Unlike by Schach Puzzle, it's okay, but by Avir, if it's by hefsek of Avir, you're not allowed to sleep underneath it. You're not allowed to sleep underneath it if it's going across the whole sukkah. Or it's large enough that it's gonna. If you lie underneath it, it's gonna cover Rosh Verubo. Then it's also to sleep underneath it. But if it's just a small strip of a gap, then you are allowed to sleep underneath it. The ha or who didn't eat. The ha ain't sukkah she'ein ba nekavim nekavim. There's no such thing as a sukkah which doesn't have any holes in it at all. It's not because that's the whole point of the sukkah. You have schach, you're gonna have spot. You can't say, there's a whole mashu over here. Nothing you can do. That which we say that Schach Puzzle is Arba Tfachi and Avir Shleisha. Hainu Dafka Shehifsika Sukkah L'Shtayim. Again, like we said before, that it cuts the sukkah in half. V'lo nishar shir hechsher sukkah ivad tfalas v'makom echad. Right. So let's say you have a sukkah. Let's say it's 10 tfachim wide, and you have a strip of gap running down the whole middle. So on each side you don't have shiva tfachim. So then that's where there's a problem. However, if the strip is running down, say 10 tfachim, is a tefach away from the side, and you still have zayin tfachim on one side, so then that would be okay. But im nishar shir sukkah, that place is kosher. And even if you have a strip, let's say it's attached a little bit on the sides, then that's all. And there's a gap in the middle. Then that's also okay, because it's like the din of psal yotzim in a sukkah. It's just like okay, fine. The avir is over here, and it's mafsik. It cuts the sukkah in half. However, the schach which is coming out from it is like psal yotzim in a sukkah, and that we say is would be kosher.
What's the tziyur here? I don't get it. What's the tzdadim and what's the chutz?
You have let's say you have a props. Let's say you have a sukkah here, like you have a sukkah here like this. And so if you have a gap running down the middle all the way, so that's masik the sukkah. If this is less than Zion, then both less than Zion, it's a problem. Let's say this is less than Zion, but this is more than Zion. So this is a sukkah kosher, right? So if it's across the whole thing, this side you can't. It's nothing. However, if it's not along the whole sukkah, let's say there's 2 pieces over here. It's only in the middle. There's a gap, and these are the tzdadim. The tzdadim, and over here, then it's over here it's full. So then we say it's like psal yotzav in the sukkah. It's keel. Here's your sukkah, and here's the schach, extra schach sticking out, and that would be kosher.
The whole sukkah.
The whole sukkah, except under the place where there's except if there's under the place where there's a makom choshev of avir. Aruch Shulchan points out. He says if you have a place of gimel dalal, avir or dalad, you have like a big hole, or you have a big piece of schach puzzle, then that would and also that you're not allowed to eat underneath it nor sleep underneath it. However, it won't passel the sukkah. So, for example, For example, if you let's say you have should have decorations. I think it was discussed before. I don't know about the noise sukkah. How the Shavur says that it's to be up it's then schach puzzle because it's a machlokes, depends how far it goes from the schach. Let's say you have decorations hanging down, larger decorations. You like the big the big Chinese lanterns and I don't know what, and it's so you have to, even if it's daled al daled, it won't pass the sukkah, but you have but if it's but you should be nizar not to not necessarily sit underneath that decoration. Gimel Schach posel pachos me'arba ve'avir etzel pachos b'shleisha. Let's say you have a schach posel and you have a gap less than arba, less than 4, and you have a gap next to it of less than 3. Aim and start from lifsal. We can't say, well, there's two tvach. Let's say it's two tvachim of schach posel, two tvachim of avir. They don't say it's mitzaref to pasel. Hilkach im avir shleisha b'makom echad. If you have gimel tvachim of a gap of gimel tvachim in one place, I feel ma'ato b'schach pasel kosher. So let's say you can go ahead and you can. Let's say you have a big hole of gimel by gimel, daled al daled of avir. You have a big hole. So you want to take so that's gonna be a problem. Let's say you have a long, like a you have a big gap and you don't have any schach to cover it. So you want to take your tabletop and you can stick it on top and it's gonna block. So that would be fine. You're allowed to do that as long as because it's gonna be less than. Obviously the table is less. The strip of wood is less than daled. Yeah, less than dollar, then it will be okay. Hani mili b'sukkah g'dayla, aval b'ktana she'en ba'ela shiva al shiva, but where it's a sukkah ktana of shiva al shiva, in yesh ben shneim shlosh tvachim and starfi livsol. Then the armored side, because we said before the zayin al zayin, since you need the whole shear, therefore, if you have anything which is more than gimel tvachim, you don't say lavud, and you're chassid from the shear. But sukkah g'dayla, you still have the shear. And that's what I mentioned before last year, that the Ramesha says that since Schach has two dinim, has a din of a mechitza and has a din of tseil. So the thing is, you can go ahead and if you have a hole, so you have a problem more than gimel, you have a problem. It's not a mechitza, so you're allowed to go ahead. Schach posel can make a kosher mechitza. Midinei mechitza. Let's say you need if it's less than 3, whatever it is, schach posel will make you a proper mechitza. The problem is that you end up sitting under schach posel. If it's dalid, let's say the schach posel so if it's more than lavud, it's okay because the gap is full. However, the problem is that if you get to a makom choshev of dalid, which is dal chachim, it's considered a makom choshev. So already, but that over there, you're not sitting under the tsail of the sukkah, even if it's a proper mechitza. Mitzad sheni, but if you have avir, if you have air, which is gimel tvachim, so even if the chamas, it's salasa b'ru mechamasa, you would start the whole sukkah. There's one spot which is avir. And you have a giant sukkah, and it's roiv. Akopanim. You have a gap going from side to side of gimel. It's going to cut the sukkah in half because there's no mechitza above. That's just a way to look at it. Dalid in yesh schach pasel shnei tfachim. Let's say you have schach pasel of 2 tfachim, v'oid schach pasel shnei tfachim, and then you have more schach pasel v'aver pachos mishlosha masik b'neihem. So you have two tfachim schach pasel, 2 tfachim schach pasel, and you have a gap of 2 tvachim of avir. Yesh li'stapek im shnei hapsulim mitzarefin lifsol sukkah. Therefore that one masupik, because there do we say lavud l'chumra in this case to say that the schach pasel connects. Here you fill in the gap with schach pasel, and therefore you have more than dal of schach pasol, so it would come to pasel it. So, but it says that if so, the Mishnah points out how we don't say love of the chomer, mainly psulim arba. Because the point over here is only when you have schach pasol, tzachakol is arba. So it could be that it could be that mitzdarif with lavud. However, if you don't, we don't say that we don't fill in the gap of lavud. Let's say you have two tfachim of air and two tfachim of schach pasol. We don't say let's say you have a mashu of schach pasol on the other side. We don't say the lavud makes it into kilo. It's dal tfachim because you don't say lavud l'chumra. If there's 2 and 2, so then the question is the avir going to mitzdarif? So that's a suffix. And if you're in a sukkah like that, then you should not make a bracha because, if nothing else, then you can eat there. But it's better to try to fix it. Tafresh lamed gimel din goiva hasukkah. Now we talk about the height of a sukkah. Sukkah shigvol l'mala me'asim ama. A sukkah which is taller than esrim ama psula. What's the psul? So the Gemara, there's a machlokes what the psul is of esrim ama. I think it's Rava one says that you're not sitting in the tzel sukkah because it's so tall. You're the sun's gonna you're the shade of you're sitting in the shade of the walls, not in the shade of the esrim ama. Right? Of course, then the fizeh, if you have a very very wide sukkah as well, so then even samame asiyama that will be okay. The shita the svar we go like is that it's not considered diras ara, it's considered diras keva, because it's not shaykh to have such a tall sukkah if you have if you don't have very strong walls. So because it's very tall, the sukkah will collapse. So if you don't have strong walls, strong enough walls therefore this is called diras keva because it's surah that it's going to stand up is only by keva. So that's how we come out. However, if you have a regular sukkah and you want to use the walls of your house, you want to use metal walls, put in super strong walls and dig it down to bedrock and out of the foundation, everything like that, it's fine. Because you could make a sukkah, could make a sukkah 10 amos high, which can stand with just some flimsy boards and whatever. Problem is that more than esrim ama, it's not going to be able to stand unless you go ahead and put up strong walls. So bein shehi gedola, bein shehi ktana, whether it's a large sukkah or a small sukkah, whether it's more than Zion or less than Zion, or exactly Zion, bein shebechitzos megios l'schach, whether the mechitzos touches the schach, bein she'ena megios of esrim kshera. However, esrim, if you measure exactly 20, it's kosher. Even if the schach is above esrim, even she'en bechalala ela esrim, so therefore the problem here is the walls have to be super strong, only if it's more than esrim. But if it's exactly 20, so then the walls can be something arai, and that's okay, even if the schach is above that. Hi beis. So if beis haisa gvoa yosem esrim, if it's taller than 20, v'hutzim pirush anafim ketanim ima'alin shalahem, you have let's say you're using palm branches and a bunch of the leaves are sticking down into the underneath 20. If these leaves, if you love psula, let's say you ki'ilu cut the top of the schach off, you could have enough of a mesh of the leaves that it's going to be tzilasa meruba. So then we say it's b'mayit the halal of the 20 amos, and then therefore you have less than 20 amos with schach, and it's kosher. V'im lav psula, but if not, then it is puzzle because it's not considered anything. It's tuffle to the schach above, and this is not considered. It's not considered and you don't have, even if it's in mamayit, but you don't have schach under 20, so therefore you need to go the walls all the way up. You can't just say, well, good asik to the walls up. It doesn't work. You need to have that schach under schach, which by 20. So, Siv Gimel,
You're
Sukkah.
saying that the schach has to be in 20?
No, so the walls have to be 20. So if you have a schach which is sticking down, so you say it's mamai at the height. So let's say this is 25, and the schach sticking down 6 trach, right, or whatever. So therefore, this part of the schach it's 20. So that's okay, but then you need to sure you have by 20. You need to have tzilasa meruba. If you only have exactly 20, then the walls are kosher. But here you want to mamay it, so there you have to draw a line over here, and you have to have by 20. You need to have proper schach. You chop the whole top of the sukkah off, and then you need to be sure you have proper schach.
The schach can still be above 20.
The schach can be above 20, but then it's not mamayit. Where it's sitting on the walls can be above 20, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be sitting on walls above 20, but the point of 20, you take a laser and chop the whole top off, then it has to be, there's enough, by 20, there is, it's also meruba.
The schach starts at 21, that's possible, right?
No, that's what we're saying, that if it hangs down, then it's okay. Because mamayit the chalal.
Hanging down below, but I'm saying that if it doesn't hang
If it doesn't hang down, then it's 21 is possible.
If
Yeah.
if the walls are 20, or the walls are 19.
Oh, the walls are 19. It's fine.
No, but the schach is
Said
above 20.
even if the walls don't go all the way up.
No, but the wall is 20. The wall is 20. The part of the psul over here is the walls. If the wall is 20, it's okay because then you can have arai walls. But if it's 21, you can't have arai walls. So even if it's saying that even if you have 15 amos. And the schach is at 25 amos. The walls are shorter. Then
You have a 10 tefach wall, and you can put your schach 30.
No, so you can't. That you can't do because then we're saying good asik, and therefore it's ki'ilu the walls go all the way up to the schach. So the ki'ilu the walls are 35 amos high. The good asik means that the walls go up that high. We look at it. There's actually walls here. That's the issue. However, if the schachs by 20, or the walls themselves go up to 22, and the schach hangs down, then it's mamaya. Even if you have good asik up and the schach hangs down, that's also fine. The whole point of that halacha is that the good asik means that the wall is keel. There's walls there. You don't say, well, the wall's 10 amos, so what's the problem? It's because we look at it as keel is mamish walls. So Gimel, Sukkah shechalala yoysim esrim amma. Sukkah, which is the halal is more than esrim. The talaba dvarim noim, and you hang down, the nice, Chinese lanterns and the mazel the Chag Sameach and everything. Or you put fancy tapestry, which is also technically mutter, underneath. Then it's b'mayit the halal lo havi miyut. That's not called miyut because it's not part of the schach, and we say that it's tafel to the schach. It's to make the sukkah pretty. So we're going to see it doesn't. Technically, noise sukkah doesn't. That's not called schach pasel. It's called tafel. So therefore, even if you have big ones hanging down, it's not going to be mayit the halal. Even if you put, say, a tapestry there, because it's considered tafel to the schach, and therefore it's meaningless. Let's say on the floor you put a bunch of mattresses. Lo havimiyu, that doesn't memayiv. I feel a bit bitlam. Even if you're going to keep the mattresses there for the whole sukkah of all sukkahs, it doesn't memayiv. It's different than the case of kari amita, because there the bed itself is considered the karka, because there's a shelf there, and it's dalal dalid, and that's going to be a permanent. That's part of the structure. And it's not a temporary thing. we'll see in a second in the case of tevet something which is it's Daito Shokol Adam is no one's going to go ahead and put their mattresses there and keep them there forever, right? The point of bittul is that it's there forever, not that it's just there for sukkahs. Dalid mi'ata b'tevin ubitlo. Let's say you put straw in, and you're going to keep the pile of straw there. Once you take the sukkah down, you're going to pile of straw there for however long. Definitely, if you go ahead and you fill you fill the bottom of the sukkah up with afar to make the halal less, and put in 2 amos of afar, and you're going to keep the afar there, the pile of dirt you're going to keep there afterwards. Then it's fine. If you weren't mavatal it, you just put dirt in. It's not mamayit. Feel the offer. You have to say, I'm keeping this dirt pile here, whatever, until I don't think it means that 20 years later you go ahead and you need some dirt and you go take it out. I don't think it means that. The point is that okay, I have a dirt pile over here.
There's a new floor.
Well, right. There's a new floor, but even when you take the walls away, you leave the dirt there. Even that's fine. Even if you go ahead and you take 10 years later, you move you dig the dirt up. That's okay because that's what you do with a pile of dirt. The point is that you don't remove it. That you don't remove it after. Okay, haram after 2 months. Yeah, remove it. It's a pile of dirt.
Why is this not possible analysis?
Because that's only about the structure. This is you can raise the floor. I mean, if you stuck it in afterwards, it might be. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure if you have to pick the schach up because they'll suddenly you create. It could be you do. I don't know.
That's Sukkah Yubed.
Yubed, he says it. Right. He says it's like tafresh chafав, whatever. Look at earlier. It's Shabura says earlier you don't need to. It's not tassel also. Sif hey. How you say gvor me'esrim? Uvanaba yitztaba. Let's say it's more than esrim. You pour cement there and make a pedestal. Keneged dofen emtzai al pnei kula. You put a pedestal by the dofen emtzai. Uvashir sukkah and zayin al zayin. Kol sukkah afil beyitztaba. The ksher kol sukkah afil beyitztaba b'hala. The whole sukkah is ksher because here you put a pedestal. You put cement. You poured cement there, and let's say it's 2 amos high and v'mayit the halal. Even though it doesn't extend all the way out to the whole sukkah, but you look at the rest of the sukkah kilo, it's a psal shiyotzav in a sukkah, like it's just extra, like we had before, it's extra schach, and that extra psal shiyotzav in the sukkah is kosher. So you have a sheer sukkah here, even though the rest of it is more than 20, but that's okay because if you look at the kilo, the floor kilo extends. This is your whole sukkah from the down, and that would be okay.
So it's like a good asik from horizontal?
You might. It is there is an inyan of that it's not. I don't think we're saying that here. There is a discussion in the Gemara. I don't think we're saying that here. We're saying that schach is psal shiyotzav in the sukkah. That schach is kosher schach. And let's just finish with vav. Vav im bana hitztaba min hatzad im yesh min hatztaba kosel sheni. Pachos me'arba amos. If there's less than arba amos, sheira alu tztaba dafka v'imlav psula. If you didn't do it keneged the dofen emtzai, but you did it on the side of the sukkah. So then we say the opposite. You say dofen akuma. This is the opposite dofen akuma, where you look at the schach up here. You look at ki'ilu going diagonally down to and touching the bottom of the diagonal down. It's touching the bottom of the or it's going down across like this. However you want to say it. The Rashi says it goes down like this, whatever. And it's kilo the wall's crooked and touches the bottom of the staba and goes all the way up. And you can go ahead and kilo that wall is cut at the bottom, and you can use that wall, and it's kosher. Zayin ibana yitztava be'emtza, if you stuck a pedestal in the middle, im yesh b'mena l'koitza l'chol tzapachos yarba amos, if there's less than amos to every wall, shera ala yitztava, because we say dofen akuma, aval im gvoy yoysa me'asara, if it's higher than 10, im yesh b'mena l'koitza yarba amos, psula, afila yitztava gvoy asara, even if it's we don't say, well, the kilo cuts the whole bottom off. We don't say that we don't say good asik in this case. That's the Gemara. That's what Mishabur from the Gemara. We don't say that the kids kilo is good asik and the walls of the we say kilo is walls going up to the schach. We don't say that because we need there is one sheet, I think it's a Abai, who does say it works, but we don't pass in that way. We say you say we need mechitzas nikaros. We don't say good asik without mechitzas. If you say you need by a sukkah you need mechitzas nikaros, that is an actual dofen over here. It's not, even though if you say that there's a part of a dofen tatvachim, then we say it goes up because you see it's a mechitza. But we don't say it by not magical, but the halacha mishmesina walls that go up from the itztava. Stop here.
I have many questions today.